last place in the world you would expect to find is in the Pine State of Maine. But here it is, larger year by year. Looking at this wind-blown sand, which is almost a square mile in extent, you would never believe that this section was a fertile farm up until 50 or 60 years ago. Then from under topsoil, the sand began to appear, and before many years the farm had to be abandoned. An old lake bed coming to light again, perhaps, or widespread glacial sand deposits. But who knows how far and wide this desert will spread? Among the unusual features of Maine's unique desert are the many different shades and colors of its sands. This is due, it is said, to various forms of vegetable matter. Mrs. Hope Thomas of Freeport, Maine, a short distance from the unusual desert, has developed a novel form of art with the vari-colored sands. Note how she paints the sand pictures upside down. It takes several hours to complete one of these unusual displays, but then they bring several dollars apiece. And that's not hay or sand either. This is one novel way of getting money out of a sand bank. Plaster of Paris is used to hold the sand in place. Now I defy anyone to say these sand pictures aren't real works of art. Michigan has a desert, too, strangely enough, and here they make a regular Coney Island of it with a vehicle called a dune scooter. This Sahara is near Mears, Michigan, and the scooter has been specially devised to provide the thrill of rolling up and down the steep dunes. There are no sheiks to be found in this desert, but you can bet your life there are plenty of shrieks. Oh, for a life on the desert wave. One of the most unusual American deserts is the White Sands National Monument in New Mexico. And I mean white. It's another place where you can get that Coney Island roller coaster effect with all the trimmings. Animal and plant life is rather limited hereabouts, but the Park Service ranger shows us a white lizard. They're protected here as pets. A very pretty sand verbena also is to be found among the white sand dunes, despite the fact these sands contain no nitrogen. There's a peculiar thing. The tree's roots hold a pillar of sand in place. This unique desert is not sea sand or silica, but ground up gypsum or selenite. And here is a spot where big chunks of it are still to be found. What a playground these alabaster sands make for young and old. It's just like the seashore, except no bathing. Hundreds of square miles of glistening gypsum. That's what plaster of Paris is made from. A picnic on the great white sands, like a romp in the snow, but no danger of frost-bitten ears and noses here. This great expanse of powdered gypsum is one of the natural wonders of the world. Enough gypsum to last mankind for 60,000 years. Until then, whoopee, let's make the best of it. The great American desert region of southeastern California, with its curious Joshua trees, is perhaps the most interesting of all American Saharas. So unusual are the odd-shaped trees, and so fantastic the various rock formations hereabouts, this section also has been designated as a national monument. The Joshua Tree National Monument. And what a picturesque playground it is. Palm Springs, California is a man-made oasis. 37 years ago, this was a barren, desolate waste. Today, it is a thriving winter resort. Desert Inn is the starting point for many interesting jaunts, for exercise in the warm, dry desert air, and for sightseeing. If you can keep up, let's follow them. To the next oasis at least. The shade of a palm tree is a mighty sweet spot on a hot day. Modern America in an old world setting. Picturesque spots that turn even the desert into a mecca for those who love nature's more exotic vistas. Did you know that date trees grow in profusion around Indio, California? Just look at those clusters. Dates by the thousands on almost every tree. They have to put large paper bags over the clusters of dates to protect them from rain and birds. Rain causes them to spoil. Early Spanish missionaries introduced the cultivation of date gardens to California, but it was not until about 25 years ago that it was found that the soil and climate around Indio was ideal for date raising. Now it's a growing industry, and imagine, date trees will keep on bearing fruit for 200 years. The dates are picked by hand as they ripen, and what a bountiful crop it is. One curious thing about date trees, they must be pollinated by hand. The male and female flowers grow on different trees, and as the female flowers have no fragrance, bees and other insects are not attracted to them. The riches of Araby, grown in our own backyard, as it were. Along with date gardening, date packing also is springing up as a sizable California industry. These girls sort dates with deftness and dexterity. But then, what girl doesn't? Dates have been a delicacy for mankind since the dawn of history. A staple food in the Orient, they now bid fair to become an American product of importance. Thus do the sands of time shift man and his works over the face of the globe. Farms of yesterday are the deserts of today. The deserts of today are the gardens of tomorrow. From Maine to California, nature changes her mood amid shifting sands.